Welcome back. The All Blacks are leaving for their Northern Hemisphere tour today, a day after assistant coach Jason Hollands announced that he'd be leaving the team at the end of the year. His announcement surprised most of us, but did it surprise Gregor, the Herald senior rugby analyst? He's with us this morning. G'day.
Morning.
Morning. Were you surprised, or did you already know this was happening?
I didn't know it was already happening. Look, I'm a wee bit surprised at the timing. I'm not surprised he's decided not to carry on, and we'll come back to that about how much was that him deciding and how much was that being decided for him. Look, I think once he'd made his mind up and once everyone was comfortable with the fact that he wasn't going to seek an extension on his contract, because his contract actually expires at the end of the year, then they really had no choice, because he's actually looking for a job at the moment. So once he started looking for a job, he knew that everyone would find out. So that's why the announcement got made before they left.
And I suppose better to be made before they leave than when they're actually there playing. What about the why? I mean, you sort of alluded to this. Was it him? Was it them? Was it both?
Look, as far as these things go, I think they probably met in a mutual, it's a bit like teenage breakups, isn't it? You're sort of scrambling to tell the world that you were the one that did it. You were the dumper, not the dumpy. But look, I think what happened here, genuinely, he knew he was coming off contract at the end of the year. He rationalised that he wasn't loving the job, I assume. It wasn't working out for him perfectly. He thought that, no, he didn't really want to seek an extension on his contract. And on the other side of the equation, I don't think they were putting a bit of paper in front of him necessarily. They weren't sort of pushing him to get into those negotiations. So when he said, look, I don't really think I want to go beyond the duration of my current deal, I think everyone kind of went, well, okay, fair enough, that's fine. So they met in a happy ground that he didn't really want to stay and they weren't desperate to keep him. And it opens the door now, to look at an alternative when they get back home.
This is the second assistant coach for the ABs to get the chop or to leave. Is there something about the assistant coach? What do they actually do? Like, is it not a fulfilling role, or is it not a role where you can have an impact?
Well, I think history shows that. I mean, clearly there have been some hugely influential and impactful assistants, depending on what the coaching regime has been. Look, I mean, we're not being inside the camp. I mean, it's a good question. What do they do in this particular setup? And that has arguably been one of the biggest unknowns to people like me who follow this team and try and understand how it operates and who does what. It's always been a bit vague. It's always been a wee bit unclear. It's been a bit cluttered in that, this is a new setup in actual, not just like historically. It's pretty simple. You go, that guy over there, he coaches the forwards. That guy over there, he does the backs and he does the scrums. Easy. You kind of know what they all do. This one is, I mean, Jason Hollands, who we're talking about here, I still actually don't really know what his job was because it changes, because we've all given it different descriptions, and he's in charge of the attack and set plays. And I'm kind of looking around going, what does that mean? And then therefore, if he's doing that, what are other people doing? And I think that was part of the problem here. I don't think he loved the job because of that slight confusion, that slight overlay, that slight muddled environment as to who is doing what. My point here being that if he was really loving that job and he was hugely successful and the All Blacks were really playing well, I think he would have wanted to have stayed on, and the All Blacks would have wanted him to have stayed on.
Fascinating stuff, Gregor. Appreciate your insight this morning. Gregor, Herald's senior rugby analyst with us live. Time now. They're off to Chicago, by the way, Ireland next week. Right now, 28 minutes away from 8. Here's Neva.